Hi, fellow fishing addicts like me. Welcome to the channel. So basically today the video gonna be about surf casting rods. So I got three different rods with three different blanks, okay? So I'm gonna try to explain to you the difference between them. We have some rods in the market where the casting weight it's lower than other ones, and I'm gonna try to explain the difference between them and the ones you should buy. So here we got the Caperlan Symbios, 4 meters 20, and if you see here, let me see if I can focus for you. There we go. So it's 100 grams to 200 grams maximum cast. So it's a ice sensitive tip. So basically is a hybrid. This one actually got very good rings, right? So I like the shape of the rings, and it's a very good rod. But let me try to focus here for you guys. But this rod, you don't can cast more than 130 grams. Okay, then next to it we got the famous Shimano Alivio. This one is 4 meters 25, and if you see down here is 225 grams maximum cast, so basically is between 100 and 225. This one you can cast 150 grams easily. So tubular tip, and here we go. CW, so casting weight 225 grams. So the only thing I don't like in this rod, you got the MN rings, and that is not very good for casting. Okay, so in this side we got Yuki. I like this rod. This rod it's a bit better. So a Yuki Aron surf, also 4 meters 20. So all of them is 3 components rods, okay? So 3 sections or 3 components rods, okay? So here it says Yuki Innovation Leader. So the guides or the rings basically are quite good. I like, I can cast with this rod quite far. So first we're gonna talk about Caperlan Symbios. So this rod, you got the SW rings or guides. Is basically a good rod. I use it just for rock fishing. I not use for surf casting, and the reason is if I use this rod for surf casting and I need to put a weight, we can say 150 grams if I need to, what's gonna happen is when I casting I can break the rod. So the casting weight is not great, but still a good rod. Okay, but not use this rod for surf casting. And the reason is, like I said, the casting weight is no good. And even so, if for you shake a rod, just hold the rod like this and shake. So basically, a good rod with a good blank, you will stop straight away the tip moving, and this one still moving a bit. Yeah. So I'm not if you are a beginner, or even if you um, are already a experienced angler and you do surf casting, um, guys, not use this rod. This is no good for surf casting. Um, but like I said, still a good rod. I like to use it rock fishing. If you do rock fishing a lot, yeah, it's a good rod. Okay. Um, you can find this rod on the Caperlan online, and they will send to the shop near to you, and then you can pick it up. So it's the way I'm doing. You got the option for they deliver it at home, but they will charge for do the delivery. Okay, so now let's talk about Alivio. So the difference between this rod and Caperlan rod, and when you touch this rod, and you have touched both rods, right? So the Caperlan and this Shimano, you feel the difference straight away. So this rod, basically, when you shake the rod, it stops, right? So the blank is a bit better, or much better, we can say. So this rod normally, the maximum weight I use when I need to cast a bit further or to hold my fishing gear on the beach or on the sand, on whatever where I'm fishing, I can use 150 grams maximum. Okay, but I not use more than that. 225 maximum weight. So if you basically use 170, especially in the winter with a rough sea, or even 180 grams, you're gonna damage the rod. You can break the rod when you cast. Um, is a good rod. I just fished with this rod a few weeks ago. The only thing is Shimano should do a better rings for this rod. This is a normal ring, so N rings or guides, and it create a bit of friction when you're casting, and you can lose a bit of distance because of that reason. But the rest of it, it's a good rod. It's not the best in the market, obviously, but still a good rod. Okay, you can catch a lot of fish and even big fish with it. I just a few weeks ago, you can go back on the channel videos, and I catch a smooth hound. It was not very big, but was a good size, and was basically easy to take him out from the water. So it's not a big problem. Obviously, if he's a big sea bass, you need to be a little bit more cautious and work more with your reel, okay, with the drag. I'm not. I just try to warn you not to push too much to this rod. you can take the fish, but it can break the line depending on the line we're using. The lines, the maximum lines I'm using for this kind of fishing, like I said a few videos ago, it's 0.18 the minimum and the maximum 0.28. I don't use more than that. Okay, depends on the sea conditions. I use the lines and even the rigs, even the snoods that is appropriate for that day, we can say, with the sea conditions. So basically I adapt my fishing gear with the sea conditions and see what is the best gear to use to get results. Okay, so Shimano Alivio, it's still a very good rod. Still, it's not very expensive. You can find less than 100 pounds online. Okay, now go for another one. This one is my preferred one, to be honest. I like this rod. The blank is a bit stronger, and the casting weight of this one is 250 grams. So it's a cannon, we can say. With this rod I cast better with the Shimano one, and I can cast more than 170, 180 yards with this rod. With that one I lose a little bit of like I said, of distance. The only reason is the guides. I don't like the guides. So these guides is kind of SW guides. So this is very good guides, and the color of the rod, it's nice. I like this color. So basically, if this rod, if I give a good, she stops straight away. So, and you feel if you are a experienced fisherman, you feel it straight away. Yeah, the peg is very good. So have a very good peg, so you don't go anywhere on your hand. And yeah, this rod is better than the previous two. Obviously you got in the market much better than this. This depends on your budget, obviously. But with these three rods, right, this is just only three, for give you a idea the difference between which ones. Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned before, I like to use tubular rods, so the tips, and not hybrid. Hybrid is good. I don't say people using hybrid rods probably they like more than tubular, because the tip are sensitive and you can see better the knocks of the fish, especially in the days the fish are not feeding that well. But casting wise, I prefer tubular because they are stronger. I can cast long distance with it, especially with this one. It's amazing rod. It's obviously Japanese. The blank, it's just spot on. I found it in my previous fishing session when I basically was the first time I fishing with it. I found it very easy to use, very easy to cast, and also I have a few small sea bass, not very big in that day, and I saw the knocks on the tip of the rod. So still a good rod, so still sensitive, a bit sensitive on the tip. So yeah, it's you can find it online too. It's not very expensive too. No way, it's not. It's basically around, I think, 70 quid. Probably you can get one rod of this. So yeah, and it's a very good rod. I love this rod. So this rod, casting wise, I will cast maximum weight 170 grams, 180 max, especially when the sea is rough and you need to hold your fishing weight on the bottom of the sea. Yeah, this rod is amazing. Okay, so what I tried to say to you, doesn't matter what kind of makes, so the make of the rods, Yuki or Caterplan or whatever. What is more important to know on the rod, and if you want to buy a new rod, um, check always the casting weight. Okay, the casting weight is the most important of the for surf casting. Um, then you got the two options, or tubular or hybrid. It's up to you. But casting weight, you can find rods 100 grams till 300 grams. That is amazing. That is cannons. You can cast far with that kind of rods. Um, and yeah, basically, this is what I want to try to help you guys, especially if you starting now on surf casting. Yeah, and they are not very expensive. Obviously, everyone have a different budget. I understand that. But if you want to fish with surf casting, and you want to, you want to adapt your gear to that kind of fishing, don't buy rods from 100 grams to 200. Minimum 225, never less than that. Because if one day you plan your fishing session and you come from far and you're driving like 2 hours to get to the spot you choose to fish, and then you get there and the sea basically, when it comes especially high tide, start to get rough and start to get a bit different that you expect, then you need to use a bigger weight, so 150 example, or 160 or whatever, you're gonna struggle. You can break your rod if you try to cast with a rod that the casting weight is between 100 and 200 grams. So yeah, so guys, please, if you have any questions or anything, that any doubts, just comment on the section below. Hit that button also, that helps us to bring more stuff for you, and I hope you like the video, and please subscribe. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and see you soon. Thank you.